Hello again, I am Jim Bob. Welcome back to American Outback. And we are just about to start seeding some barley. So let's change the seed type. There we go, barley selected. Oh, I love that we can go from sunflowers to barley on the same seeder. That's so cool. And we have just a little patch that we didn't quite have enough fertilizer to reach the end of the field. So what I'm going to do is hire a worker to start seeding for us. I'm going to quickly run back to the farm, grab some fertilizer, just a little bit, come back, fill that gap in, and then take the Optum back to the farm again. I'll tell you what, in fact what we could do, is we could actually spray or fertilize. Actually no, we use the sprayer for that, I think. Decisions. Do I use the fertilizer spreader? Again. And put a second layer of fertilizer down on field 119. Because, you know, our seeder does not fertilize. So we could definitely do that. Choices. I think we might actually do that. I mean, we've got a spraying rig, but that's going to be too wide, as we know from previous experience. We're going to end up with a thin patch left over down the side of the field that is, not really acceptable. It's too to leave. It's too wide to ignore, but it's too narrow to really justify going up with down the field for another pass with the sprayer. So I think what we'll do then was we'll just quickly fill that patch in, and then we'll reapply another stage of fertilization with the spreader, and then we'll use the sprayer on field 20, and then when the crops grow in the final stage we can use the weeder, which we will be using on field 2 as well. That sounds like a plan. Let's go with that. So now we need to get back to field 20 before. Need to be facing the right way so I can actually see where I'm driving. Need to get there before our seeder does, so we can get that little patch that's left over. It shouldn't be an issue. Let's see, how's he doing? Oh yeah, we've got plenty of time. We'll easily get there before he does. We're burning through quite a bit of fuel in this Optum as well. I've just realised how low we are starting to get. Definitely going to have to look at giving this a bit of a drink. Oh, we've missed the turn off. Right, let's cut through between the houses. Through the invisible cactus. There we go. We're back on target. So how many of you that play are still playing out on American Outback? How many of you have upped and sold your farm and moved over to Westbridge or moved over to Mustang Valley? How many of you have kept the faith with Outback and are still here with me farming away? Because I know from quite a few posts within some of the Facebook groups I'm in, including one that I help to manage, that a lot of people have kind of sold up on their American Outback file. They've cashed out and transferred over to Westbridge Hills, which has caused a few issues for people, given that got patched and updated a week later, and requires a new game save. That's upset a few people. And a few others have upped and sold and gone to Mustang Valley instead. So have you done that? You know, are you happy with the choice that you made? Did you sell on American Outback to go to Westbridge and then sold on Westbridge to go to Mustang? And are you still on Mustang? Have you sold and gone back to either Outback or Westbridge? Let me know in the comments. I would love to hear from you guys on that. See what you guys have done. See, me personally, I don't know if I could run just a single farm. I like having a little bit of variety. So by having 3 or 4 different farms that I can jump onto, it means that when I start getting a little bit bored of one, I can go and jump onto a different file and play around on that. What was I going to do? I've just driven all the way back here. We were going to spread fertiliser on field 119, weren't we? Come all the way back for... such a muppet at times, I really am. Alright, let's grab the axis. We literally just talked about it. I drove over to the farm, to the field, sorry. I sprayed that little patch and then just like, oh, I completely forgot what I was going to do. I'll top this up with some fuel while we're here, I suppose. Give him a drink. There we go. How is the field coming on? Quite nicely. That's good to see. Let's check on the state of our animals as well. How are they looking? Cleanliness is 0 for the cows again. They are messy, messy, messy. Okay, so we need to sort that out. This is still refueling. Let's jump in the Puma. We'll do that quickly now before we go and head off. In fact, actually, no, we'll go and get the fertilizer started. We'll get a worker going on that, and then we can tend to the animals a little bit while those workers are running. So let's park up here. There we go. We should be full on fuel by now as well. Yes, there we go. So off we go back to field 119. And we had that really thin strip. It's possible we might actually, if we position ourselves right on the edge of our working width, we might actually be able to cover the entire field this time round. It may be that little gap that we had left over was because, you know, we weren't on the full reach of our width on that first pass. So maybe a slightly better position start means that we can cover the entire field instead of having that thin strip on the edge that it hasn't been picked up. Let's give it a go. I'm going to start on the opposite side of the field this time around. Just cut through the hedge there. So let's take a guess at this being the working spread. How good is this? That's not bad. Okay, let's try going a little bit wider. Yeah, that looks pretty good. I'm going to go with that. That looks to be right on the sort of boundary. We could possibly actually have gone even a little bit wider. What we're going to do, yes, animals, we need to clean up after our cows. So we'll get in there, we'll scoop up all that grass that they've picked up and kicked out of the food trough. And I've never understood why, if they're going to throw out grass, why throw it out here? Why not throw it out near the other... I don't know, it just seems silly to me. Why does it come out as grass when it went in as hay? I suppose... Are the cows chewing it and then spitting the grass back out? You know, is that why it's soggy and turned back into grass and instead of staying as hay? Who knows? It's a little bit odd. We need to do some more silage at some point soon as well. Start prepping for the the cow expansion when we need a lot of feed. So just lower, turn on. Let's try and position nice and close to this trough here so we can pick up everything. And we did miss a little bit by the look of it. Let's head back. Yep, there we go. Try and get right up close there. There we go. I know we're going to leave a patch on the other side, that's fine. We'll turn around, run back down again, but I wanted to get everything on one side so I don't have like a 7-10 split scenario going on. You know, a little bowling term. This tree has no clipping, so I'm not worried about potentially slamming into that thing. And there we go, there is our cows cleaned up after. Now I can tip this just here, which is what I'm going to do. Put that back into the food trough. Now we can go and put the loading wagon away. So with the fertilizer costs, we are now up to $12,000 of debt, which is not great, but it's not the end of the world. It's not a major problem. We can overcome that particular issue. And while I check my finances, how much of a loan are we at? We have $50,000 available to us if we need it. Okay, so it's good to know we have some money, you know, a little bit of emergency money available. Helper C has completed the task. That's got to be the seeder, I think. Where is the shed for my tractors? Must be the next one along. Yeah, there it is. So let's get the case Puma in there. So he's still spreading away, so yes, it's the seeder that's done. Okay, so let's fold that up. Let's head on back to the farm. There we go. See, I think given how our series has had some positive responses to doing a little bit of night farming, we may continue to do some nighttime work on this farm. It looks really pretty as well when you're driving through and it's all lit up. So I do want to drive through the town over by the animal dealership area below Field 21. I want to drive through there at night time. I've got a feeling that's going to look really nice all lit up. I mean, this small one over here on the western side of the map by the shop does look very nice with the lights on. So I would imagine it looks even better on the eastern town. we won't necessarily deliberately go looking for nighttime work, but we will, you know, if we run into a situation where we could wait until the morning or we could carry on working, we might just carry on working, get some more nighttime footage in there for you. Okay, so I want this cedar to face the other way around this time. So we're going to loop around a little bit. Let's make sure I get the right entrance. So it's going to be parked in that shed there. So I need to tackle it that way. Let's clean it first. There we go. Such a beautiful model. And the attention to detail with the Big Bud stuff has been fantastic. I mean, sometimes in the past we've seen stickers that have got really blurry and hard to read when we get up close. Not the case with the stuff on the Big Buds. And one thing else as well, I noticed this when I was recording Mustang Valley. These drive shafts that I'm spraying here, you know, these drive shafts actually spin, and they spin at a speed related to how fast the tractor is actually moving as well, and that's a lovely touch. I love to see that. So this is what I was talking about, the stickers. I mean, look how close we are, and look how clear those are. You can actually read what's written on some of those, on the ones where the print isn't too fine. Let's see if we can get really close. Let's have a look at these ones here. Trying to get close enough. There, again, we can actually see it's really clear. It's readable. If I could get the right angle, I'd be able to read that. You can read that nice and clearly as well. The level of detail on these Big Buds is staggeringly good, and even on the equipment that goes with it as well. But here's the drive shaft. I'll show you the drive shaft. And this is the same for the 747 as well. You see it spinning? And it spins faster based on how fast you're moving. So I love that. I love the attention to detail with these models. It's staggeringly good. So there we go. We'll park our cedar up in here, facing the correct way this time. Back her up a bit. There we go. So the 450 is done. Now the reason this doesn't live in the shed with the other two case tractors is it doesn't fit. It's too big, it's too tall. It's a combination of this exhaust pipe and these air filters sticking up. You know, the pipe and these filters here, they're just so high, you know, on the snorkel there that you know, the shelters, I mean, they're like this one here. You know, they catch on there, so they're just, you know, a little bit too high, unfortunately, to back in there. How is our fertilizer doing? He's not far off. He's got one last pass to go after the one he's on right now. So he's going to be another few minutes. So what else do we need to do? We need some more grass and we need some water. So Do I have... I've got to have mowers somewhere. Where did I leave my mowing kit? Must be over here. Yes, there we go. So let's... That's the tractor that I want, isn't it? Yeah. Ugh. Oh, we can get away with using the Puma. Let's go do some mowing. I don't want to do too much. I don't want to go crazy. So I'm just going to take the front mower. I'm going to take the forage wagon as well. And we're going to just do a little bit of grass collection just to add some more feed for our cows. So we'll drop the front mower just there. There we go. Put the rear mower back in there. And one thing we'll be doing as well, once we have a little bit more money, is we will be replacing the water trough, the water trailer that we have. Another awesome mod from Black Sheep Modding that was released a little while ago was the transport trailers that they did, the liquid transport trailers. So we now have a 32,000 litre Joskin water transporter rather than the kind of paltry 7,200 litres or so that we get with the current one. It also means we don't have to spend a huge amount of money buying a hook lift trailer and then a 20,000 litre tanker body for the hook lift trailer as part of the IT Runner mod set, or a mod addition to the IT Runner mod set. We don't have to do that anymore, which is just as well because it's a very expensive combo, and that would be pretty much all we would need it for. So it would be a huge waste of money for something that has a lot less capacity. There we go. I'm not too bothered about mowing this for silage or anything like that. Just going to be mowing it purely for grass. I am going to start looking at creating a working grass meadow somewhere that we can fertilise and turn into a proper grass pasture for silage farming. That way we can start to add to that silage pile that we have building by our cows. Maybe even get a silage pile going at the BGA plant as well. But we're not hurting for food at the moment. We have some silage bales and some hay left over to make some more power food. They have plenty of power food to last them several days. And so we're just going to top up the grass and top up the water. And then we can just ignore our cows for a little bit longer. Get them making lots of manure and slurry for us. And then we can start to use that to fertilise some of our smaller fields. I think going forward, once we've expanded our selection of fields a little bit more, and we've improved our workable land, we will look at... He can't have finished already, that's too soon. He must have hit a dead zone. Once we've expanded our land, I'll probably turn field 2 into a grass field. So what field are we going to buy next? Well, I would love to have a good sized field, but I think field 6 is the next realistic target. It's not too far away. It's a decent size. It hopefully won't be horrendously expensive. Something that we'll be able to afford. And it's a good size in terms of potential yield. Yeah, it'll be on a par with field 20, probably bigger than field 20 as well, actually. Maybe 20 and 2 combined will be a sort of combined yield similar to field 6. So I think that's going to be the next field that we work towards buying. We may well do a little bit of contracting work to see if we can knock the price down just a touch. The cheaper it is, the quicker we can get it, the quicker we can expand our farm, the more money we can make from crops, which means the faster we can earn money to buy another new field, and so on and so forth. Right, so I want to check what's going on with this guy. He can't be done. Surely he must have turned around somewhere. No, he is done. Just look at that. He's actually done. And he did manage to get the whole field as well. So now we know the spreader will cover the entire working width of the field. We just positioned it a little bit poorly the first time around, which is why we had that little gap. Okay, so let's get him. Well, he's not going to have enough. He's going to be just short again. Especially considering we wasted a little bit of fertilizer at the start. Just testing, making sure that we were lined up in the right spot. We can't buy a pallet, we don't have any money. Let's drive back to the farm. We'll put a little bit splash of fertilizer in this thing. Just a splash. You know, push it up to, say, 900. And then we'll come back and we'll fertilize field 2. Field 20, sorry. I'll get that up to stage 2. And then we can weed field 2 when that moves to the next growth stage. And then we can weed our other 2 crop fields as well when they are ready. So we have a plan of action going forward. And one thing I'm thinking of doing is actually creating a small plot area where we can install some greenhouses. You know, we have a decent number of cows straight off the bat. You know, we started with 50 cows. So we've got a nice healthy little bit of livestock to work with. Next one. There they are. There's our seed tanks. So just want a little bit. That'll be enough. It's probably way more than we needed. Probably only need to go to 800. Oops, wrong button. There we go. That's what I wanted to do. Close the back. Yeah, we have a decent starting number of cows. So they're already producing some manure. And while we're not really in a position to use manure as a fertilizer on our fields, you know, we don't have the right equipment yet, and I don't really want to spend money on something we're only going to be able to use once in a blue moon. Using the manure to fund or to help promote growth on greenhouses seems like a pretty good idea. It'll help boost our income a little bit. It'll cover our maintenance costs at the very least for the day. Give us a nice little hourly income. You know, water is easy to get on this map. We can get it for free. So I think we're going to, you know, put some greenhouses down, and just need to find the right location. And I'm thinking one of these meadows by the farm that's currently, you know, not in use would be absolutely perfect for that. There we go, that's right on the ragged edge there. That's perfect. I think that's going to be enough grass as well. Fold that, turn that on, there we go. More than enough grass that we need just to top up the food trough. We'll tip the whatever's left into the silage pit that we have next to the cows. I mean, I could have filled the entire thing up, but there's no point at this stage. I don't want to make busy work, you know, just work for the sake of working. So let's unload the grass. There we go. We only needed, what, 8,000 or so. Not much at all. Cows are now taken care of. And now we will unload. There we go. So now we can put this equipment away again. Deal with the water. You can see we've got a manure pile that's building there already. So this is why I think greenhouses would be a great idea. As I said, we have the manure to feed the plants that will grow. Water is easy enough to get hold of. It's completely free if we go down to the river. If not, we have a water tower on the farm. So water is not an issue. Manure is not an issue. And it will give us something else to do as well, where we're in those stages where we're just waiting for crops to grow. Or waiting for them to just get ready to be harvested. You know, we've recently branched out into logging on Massey Manor, and I will be doing some logging on on Mustang Valley as well. I don't really want to suddenly flood all of my farms with logging footage. I like to mix it up a little bit, and we haven't used greenhouses on any of our farms yet. So this seems like an ideal opportunity to do so. Just got to decide where I want to put the greenhouses. There's a few different locations that I've been thinking of. One of them is one of those meadows that we've just been in, you know, so that they're near to the farm and then near to the manure pit. The other place I've been thinking of is this little patch of land just here. Been thinking maybe dropping a couple of greenhouses in that little spot there by those houses. Nothing really is going on there. It's just a flat piece of ground. There's no real need for that to be there. So I could drop a couple of greenhouses in there. I want to check out this piece of land here as well. The other side of this little ridge near Field 6. And we need to check out the price of Field 6 as well. See how much that's going to cost us. So let's go and do that now. Oh, actually, no, we need to do water first for the animals, for the cows. This is my problem. I get distracted. I get sidetracked. I'll think, okay, this is what I'm going to do, and then all of a sudden I'll think of something else, and then completely forget what it was I was supposed to be doing. As you noticed earlier with the spraying of the fertilizer with the Kuhn Axis. It's like, we're going to go and do this, and then boom, completely forgot to do it. We do get traffic coming down here ever so infrequently. And I say infrequently, there's a second car there as well. Very rare I ever see traffic come down this road, but it does happen. Alright, so let's unload the trailer. Are we going to need to top it back up? Yes, we are. Okay, so let's go get some more water. Now there's... it's a little bit tricky, but we should be okay. There is a point I haven't explored over that way, but there is a point just over here, just past where this kind of bridge area ends, where we could jump down and grab some water. This is where I tend to grab it from, just here. So we drive down here like this. The only trouble is it's a little bit ridgy just here, so it's a little bit awkward. But we have a nice little sort of patch just here that we can sort of turn around in. So it's just a little bit awkward getting back out again. Just getting over that first little lump just in front of us. That's quite steep. Once we get over that, we're fine. There we go. Oh, 7,300. I could have sworn it was 7,200 litres. It's out by 100. It's not a major problem. So there we go. We have 7,300 litres of free water in our tanker. We'll top this up with the cows, and then we'll go do a little bit of exploring. Mark out a potential location for our greenhouse expansion. Let's check on the animal page. And that's it. Water is done. Why is cleanliness down at 23% now? That should be high. Don't tell me they've spat it all out already. How can they be spitting it out so quickly? We've been gone for... Okay, so we need to get a Lely Juno, because this is now getting ridiculous. It's been, what, 10 minutes since we got that all the way clean to 100%? 15, maybe 20 minutes at the most. And it's already down to 23%. Okay, so something is definitely... That's definitely wrong. It's got to be... For them to... And that's 20 minutes of real time as well. That's not sped up time. That's 20 minutes of real time, and it's already filthy. Okay, so yeah, we're going to have to get a Lely Juno just to stay on top of that, because that's ridiculous. Alright, so I want to check out this patch, the other side of the field over here. Just want to check it out, see what it actually is, because I can't remember off the top of my head. What have we got here? Actually, this is not bad. We've got a nice gated area. We've got a little bit of storage there as well, so we could even put in a couple of vehicles designed for going and picking up and shoveling the manure. That would work really well. So I think that's going to be our manure area just there. Sorry, our greenhouse area just there. We'll put a few greenhouses in there, in that area there, and then we can store a vehicle or two, you know, a couple of pieces of equipment in that building. I think that's going to work out really nicely. So let's check out the price of Field 6 before we end the episode, because we are almost out of time. Hopefully this won't be too expensive. And maybe in the next episode we'll sell our soybeans. $257,000. That's more expensive than I was hoping it was going to be, but not as much as I thought it might have been. I was expecting 350,000. So that's not too bad. That's not too bad at all. We can't afford to buy it just yet. We're probably going to need to do one more round of harvesting before we can get there. I mean, we have, what, 100,000 litres of soybeans, assuming we get 1,700, which was the price last time I checked, and that's 170,000 litres. Sorry, $170,000. That's still 80,000 short, and we can't make that up with the other crops that we have. So, yeah, we're probably a little bit too far away on that one just yet. I'm still shocked at just how quickly those cows destroyed their feed area. It's got to be a bug in the map coding somewhere for them to be that dirty that quickly. I just refuse to accept that they can do that much, make that much mess in the space of 10 or 15 minutes. That's just too quick. So we need a Juno. Just set it off, let it run, and it can deal with everything for us. This is the wrong one. That's my tractor shed. This is where I want it. Okay, so let's park this up and we'll end the episode. Thank you for watching. Please do like, share, subscribe to the channel. All the good stuff that we love and enjoy so much. I do love to read your comments, so please do keep them coming. And if you do drop a like on the video, that would be very much appreciated. Feel free to share the videos as well with your friends in the groups that you belong to. And obviously subscribing means that you'll get notified every time I post a new video. You can also get connected to my Facebook page. I often post news about upcoming mods that I'm excited about on there, and every single video I release gets publicised on the channel, on the Facebook page as well. Plus sometimes they get announced on there before they go live anywhere else or get mentioned on the videos. So the Facebook page is usually the place to hear things first. We'll put the link in the description. It's nice and easy. Facebook.com/JimBobPlaysGames. And I will catch you back on the farm very soon.